Hey there, boys, here. So welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm gonna be just talking about everything that came in this latest update, which is Sea of Thieves 2.7.1, because this is actually a really great update, releasing a lot of gameplay improvements, a lot of Season 8 fixes, a lot of quality of life improvements regarding Season 8 and resourcing. We also get a glimpse at new golden sands, so it's overall a really great update. If you like this kind of videos where I just quickly read the patch notes and show you everything that the update includes, then please drop a like and subscribe to my channel, as it really helps improving this channel. If you want to socialize with the little community that I have here, go join the Discord server, link to that is in the description. I just made a few updates there to make it look prettier. And without any further ado, let's get started. So let's start with the gameplay improvements. There has been a lot of Season 8 improvements here regarding resourcing, regarding the blunder bombs, regarding the Shores of Gold exploit and everything. So let's just head into it. So first off, we have blunder bomb impact balancing. Blunder bombs fired from a cannon now have a reduced area of effect range when exploding, and players caught in the blast will no longer be propelled so far in the air, preventing them from being so easily sent overboard. So what this means is that the AoE blast area was reduced from 10 meters to 5 meters basically, which is the distance that you get from blunder bombs when you throw them, and now this distance is same across throwing blunder bombs and shooting blunder bombs out of a cannon. So they made it to have the same effect as if you just threw the bomb from afar. As for the propelling effect, what they did was they reduced the vertical knockback effect of the blunder bomb. The horizontal knockback I think is still the same if I remember correctly, but overall you will be less likely to send overboard from just one blunder bomb hitting your ship close to you. Blunder bombs fired from a cannon to hit a ship's hull now deal reduced damage to players caught in the blast inside the ship. And actually this was a bug, so whenever you hit the side of the ship, like the hull of the ship from a cannon with a blunder bomb, the enemy player inside received the full damage, even though they weren't supposed to take the full damage. They were supposed to take reduced damage, but there was a bug preventing that. But now it works correctly as they fixed this issue. Reduced blunder bomb availability. Blunder bombs are now discovered slightly less frequently in island barrels and fewer are collected at once. This is similar to what we received for curse cannonballs a while back. Now it's also applied to blunder bombs, so you can find less curse cannonballs and less blunder bombs in Season 8 now than you could before. Captains restocking at the shipwright will find the throwable supply now contain fewer throwables and has been reduced in price accordingly. Not too much to explain here, this is pretty much self-explanatory. The number of throwables found during the Captains of the Damned Talltale has now been significantly reduced. This is to make that Talltale sort of exploit, well, I would not really call it an exploit, but the Talltale tactic where you did the Talltale to get a shit ton of blunder bombs has been nerfed basically. Crates found during the Darbread Talltale now contain fewer blunder bombs. This is the same. And this is a big one, jettisoning ship supplies. When a ship sinks, the resources held within its barrels now float to the surface in the barrels to be easily collected. Sinking another ship now offers simpler restocking options after battle, while also giving crews who sink due to emergent encounters a chance to retrieve their hard-earned supplies. This is actually a great change and something that's been requested for, I don't know, a long time. I think I'd say maybe years. And this is now in the game, so you can now collect the enemy ship's supplies. Not even just a reduced amount, you can collect all of what they had on board at the moment of sinking. The barrels will float up. Obviously Sloop will have 2 food barrels, 1 wood barrel and 2 cannonball barrels, and the Brigantine and Galleon will have 3 of the cannonball barrels. So it works just as if you were on their ship, stealing resources from them, but the supplies will now float up to the surface, which is a really good change, and this certainly helps keeping the Season 8 flow as good as possible. Starting ship supplies. All ships now start the session with additional cannonballs per barrel, increasing the sloop stock to 80, with the Brigantine and Galleon stocking to 90. Ship defensive stocks have been increased with additional wooden planks, with the sloop and Brigantine now holding 35 planks and the Galleon holding 40. Ships will now find more plentiful food stocks, as all ships now hold 16 coconuts in addition to their existing banana supply. I think this is still not enough to just go in and head into a fight, but it's still it's great that the starting food supply has been increased. As for the cannonball and wooden planks, it's really a great change. I mean, 80 on a sloop, 90 on a beginner galleon, and the 40 and 35 planks are actually awesome changes because they really help you a lot with gathering less resources. So basically, preparing for a fight now takes less time. Battle for the Sea of Thieves, restocking after defeat. Crews who are thwarted by an enemy in battle and become another sinking wreck for the graveyard will now appear on the new server at an outpost, allowing them to quickly restock and get back into the fight. For me personally, I've always been spawned back at an outpost, so this does not really affect me, but I know this wasn't a guaranteed chance for you to spawn back at an outpost, so now it's guaranteed you will always spawn back at an outpost. Battle for the Sea of Thieves, emissary flags. Collected emissary flags will now be brought with the ship when diving below the waves, allowing crews to chain battles back to back before returning to an outpost to catch them in. This is also pretty much self-explanatory, but also a really good change. Now you don't have to visit an outpost after every single fight that you win, or you don't have to abandon the grade 2 or grade 3 flags even, because you can just collect them and catch them in at the end of your session, if you can maintain your streak until that, of course. Barrels of Plenty balancing. The number of floating barrels that appear in a group has now been reduced. However, the likelihood of finding rare items in these has now been increased. This also helps for the Barrels of Plenty spawning during battles. Previously you had a high chance for you to hit a random keg in Barrels of Plenty while in an hourglass battle. Now it is reduced, but also the supplies inside these barrels are increased. So overall the chance of finding these barrels are reduced, but whenever you do find these barrels, you will find really great loot in them. I suppose this includes cursed cannonballs and cooked meat as well. Let's take a look at the Pirate Emporium. We got a nice old ship set, a new custom, a new flute emote with a custom. I suppose that is the custom emote. This was pretty much all covered in the Sea of Thieves news videos that dropped yesterday, so I'm not gonna take a long time explaining the new stuff. Just take a look at everything that the Emporium offers. I think this is a great stock for Emporium, but it's still Emporium stuff and not just, you know, in-game real cosmetics that you can buy with gold. It's still locked behind ancient coin, which is not unfair or anything, because you can get ancient coins in many different ways in the game. But I really thought talking about game changes and balancing and QL updates is more important than talking about the Emporium, which gets reset every month anyways. We have some events. Also, this was also all mentioned in the whatever it's called, the Sea of Thieves news video, so I won't take a long time talking about this. We will have Grand Festival of Giving switch on, which is December 16th. This is tomorrow's live stream. You can tune in from 6:15 p.m. UTC. We will have Gifts and Glory Weekend, which is Golden Glory, but you also gain Gilded Voyages, and they added Allegiance bonus along with the Golden Reputation, so you can get more Allegiance. We will have Grogmanay event from December 30th to January 2nd. This is pretty annually by now, so this is the third Grogmanay event that we have in game. You can get the Golden Tankard thing or get a new mark on the Golden Tankard thing if you had a previous Golden Tankard. You can get fireworks and stuff like that. Game will also have switch drops from December 19th to January 2nd. This is the returning Icy set, the Frozen Horizon I think is what it's called. It's basically a really good set. If you don't have the hair, especially the hair, the spiky one is really great because you can combine that in different colors if you get a bandana on, and you can basically do this awesome sort of glowing hair coloring that you can do in your pirate, and that I do actually quite often. What is something more important that we have here is Outpost Cosmetics. We are getting the Frostbite equipment, weapons and ship set, so anyone who has the Frostbite clothing set from Season 1 is very happy now, because the remaining parts of the Frostbite set, including the equipment, the weapons and ship parts, are now available from Outpost stores. These new items are locked behind the existing Humble Giving and Generous Giving commendations, which are all related to Christmas and gift giving. Some other updates that we have here: Pentagon Sacrifice. Loyal followers of Flameheart can now reveal their victory by posing next to a new painting hung proudly in the Reaper's hideout. There's a new Pentagon painting. This was leaked, I'm pretty sure, during the adventure when it was still live, so you could pretty much see how this will look after the adventure, and now it's added, so now you can see it in-game with your own eyes if you didn't see the leaks. It's basically just a normal Pentagon painting in the Reaper's hideout. We also have season notification updates. When performing multiple actions that reward season renown, players will now see fewer notifications. How this works is that instead of spamming treasure aboard ship 9 million times in your chat, it will just say treasure aboard ship once, and there will be a number next to it indicating how many times you got the renown notification. So for example, X4 means that you get 4 notifications of treasures on board. Alright, that's really everything that this update came with. I think the Season 8 improvements are really nice, especially the cool updates, and the jetties and supplies are my absolute favorite. Everything in this update, the game is wonderful, despite being just a quality of life mid-season update. It really hits hard, I think. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. As I said earlier, bye bye.